Alright, good day students. You are welcome to Isaac Humanitarian Foundation e-learning platform. I am your host for today, your English language instructor. My name is Mr. Kayode Solomon Olugbola, your English language instructor for today. This e-learning platform is brought to us by Isaac Humanitarian Foundation to help us provide solutions to our academic challenges. And today, I'll be taking you through some of the important topics in English language. And the first one I want to discuss today is your compound word nouns. Compound nouns. That's the first topic for today. Compound nouns. Yes. Compound nouns. What are compound nouns? Please, I want to listen carefully. Compound nouns are words that are formed by joining two or more components or words with the use of a hyphen. Nouns that are formed by joining two or more components of words with the use of a hyphen, they are called compound nouns. I want to talk about the hyphen in English. That's what small dash. This one is called hyphen. So a word that you form by joining two or more components using this sign is called a compound noun. So in English, compound nouns are generally explained as nouns that are formed by joining or adding two or more components of words using the hyphen. Now these compound nouns they are peculiar. Why? To form the plural of a compound noun from the existing singular form, there are four basic rules that one must learn of. There are four basic rules that four basic steps that you must take to form the plural of a singular compound word noun. Now, what are those steps or rules as regards the formation of compound nouns in English? So this topic will dwell basically on a formation of plural compound nouns from the existing singular forms. Now the first step, the first form is that you add the grammatical markers to form a plural compound noun. Number one, you add the grammatical markers. What are the grammatical markers in English? You have your S, ES, and then IES. These are grammatical markers in English. You add the grammatical markers to the first side or component of a singular compound noun. A singular compound noun that ends with now look up. Once a singular compound noun ends with any of the following, they are written on the board down. You add the grammatical marker S, E, S, I, S to the first side or component to form the plural. Now what are those words? Number one, we have law. We have chief. We have state. We have thought. We have peace. We have a charge. We have industry. We have ceremonies. We have a public. We have public. Then there are other words that to form them, we have words like service. We have department. We have war. We have people. This is the first step in forming what? Plural compound nouns. To form a plural compound noun from the existing singular form, I said that number one, you add the grammatical markers S, ES, IS to the first side or component of a singular compound noun that ends with law. Once a singular compound noun ends with law, chief, state, thought, peace, charge, industry, ceremonies, public, service, department, war, people, and so on and so forth, it is the first side or the first component that you add what? The grammatical markers, so as well to form the plural. Now, examples include, look at this one gives us a singular and the plural form. The singular and the plural form, so it will be in this order. If I have a law, which word ends with what? Law. Example, we have mother-in-law. We have chief. We have a commander-in-chief. Commander-in-chief. Look at this one. State. Example, we have a head of state. We have thought. Example, we have school of thought. We have peace. Example, justice of peace. We have a charge. Example, minister in charge. We have industry. Example, captain of industry. We have ceremony. Example, master of ceremonies. Master of ceremonies. We have public. Example is notary public. We also have the arms. We have a service. Example, head of service. We have a war, man of war. We have people. We have man of the people. We have arms. Example of arms. We have sergeant at arms. These are what? Singular compound nouns. The following written on the board, they are what? Examples of a singular compound nouns. Why are they compound nouns? Because they are words which are formed by joining two or more components of words with what? The use of a hyphen. Therefore, to form the plural of an existing word, singular form of a compound noun, row one, the grammatical marker should be added to the first component. So we add the grammatical markers S, ES, IS to the first component of what? Of all these words on the board. So to form this, the plural of mother-in-law will now be what? Mothers-in-law. That's the first one. Then if we add the grammatical marker to this first one, this one becomes what? Commanders-in-chief. This becomes what? Heads of state. This becomes what? Schools of thought. Why this becomes what? Justices of peace. This becomes what? Ministers in charge. This becomes what? Captains of industry. This becomes, look at the next one, master of ceremonies. The ceremony will end with what? IES. The singular form is master of ceremonies. Then the plural will be masters of ceremonies. That's the plural of your MC. Your MC in singular form is what? Master of ceremonies. While in plural form is what? Is masters of ceremonies. Yes. Next is what? Notary public. Notary public. In prayer form it will be notaries public. It is the first side that will show the word, that will take the grammatical markers. Then we have what? Head of service. This becomes what? Heads of service. We have a man of war. Man of war. Since we have to add grammatical markers to the first side, the plural form of man will then become what? Men. This becomes what? Men of war. You cannot say mans of war, because the plural of man is what? Men. So in plural form, this becomes what? Men of war. Also here we have man of the people. In plural form, that becomes what? Men of the people. Men of the people. That's a plural formation. Then last one is what? Sergeant at arms. Sergeant at arms. In the plural form, that becomes what? Sergeants at arms. Already, the arms has what? S. So you add your S to the first component, and that gives us what? Sergeants at arms in the what? In the plural formation. So this is the first step, the first stage in forming what? Compounded nouns. That's the first one. Now the second one, look at it. We have mothers-in-law, commanders-in-chief, heads of state, schools of thought, justice of peace. Now, how do we use all this in the sentence? Look at this. If I say the ECOWAS meeting, the ECOWAS summit was attended by all the West African dash. The ECOWAS summit was attended by all the West African, our answer what will be heads of state. The singular is head of state, while the plural is what? Heads of state. So the meeting was attended by all the West African world heads of state. Take note. Now look at this. Let me use master of ceremonies. During my birthday, I invited two what? Masters of ceremonies. Yes, that becomes the correct one. Look at this one. Notary public. Notaries public. In plural form, this is notary public in singular. Then in plural form, notaries public. As graduates, an example, as graduates, our university certificates must be signed by at least two notaries public. Take notes. Notaries public. So these are, okay, let's look at this one. School of thought, singular. In plural, what's that? Schools of thought. If I say our topic today has been defined by different dash. Our topic today has been defined by different words. Schools of thought. Take note. So these are the examples on the first word, role, where we add what? The grammatical markers to the first component or side, so as to form the plural of those words existing singular noun. Now let's take the second step. The second one. The second step in the formation of a compound word nouns. The second step in the formation of compound noun is that what? We add the grammatical markers. You add the grammatical markers, and as I've told you, the grammatical markers, what are they? You have your S, ES, and what? IES. These are the grammatical markers in English. You add the grammatical markers to the second component. The second component of a singular compound noun that ends with, look at this, general, bracket, military title. Once a word ends with general, and that general shows a military title, it is that second side of word that will take the grammatical marker. Also, if you have colonel, if you have payer, if you have servant, if you have worker, if you have owner. If you have chairman, you have secretary, you have assistant, you have a head, etc. Once a singular compound noun ends with any of these on the board: general, military title, colonel, payer, servant, worker, owner, chairman, secretary, assistant, aide, etc. It is the second side, the second component or side that what you will add the grammatical markers s, es, is, so as what to form the plural one. So we add the grammatical markers to the second component in order to what to form our plural word side. Take note. Now examples. Let's see examples of that. So let's see examples of words that end with any of these. First one, general. Let's have a major general in singular form. We have a lieutenant colonel. Lieutenant colonel. We have a taxpayer. Taxpayer. We have a civil servant. Civil servant. We have a co-worker. We have shop owner. Shop owner. We have executive chairman. Executive chairman. We have a permanent secretary. Permanent secretary. Permanent secretary. I have a office assistant. Office assistant. Office assistant. I have a presidential aide. These are examples of words that end with those ones are written on the board. Major general in singular form. Now what's the rule? Add the grammatical markers s, es, is to the second component. The second component in order to form the plural. So if we are to add the grammatical markers to the second component, major general will then become what? Major generals. Take note. Major generals. Lieutenant colonel becomes what? Lieutenant colonels. Take note. Taxpayer becomes what? Taxpayers. Civil servant becomes what? Civil servants. Co-worker becomes what? Co-workers. Shop owner becomes what? Shop owners. Executive chairman becomes what? Executive chairman becomes what? Executive chairman. Because the plural of what? Man is what? Men. So take note. Executive chairman in singular form. Executive what? Chairman. Next is what? Permanent secretary. In plural form, that becomes what? Permanent secretaries. Permanent secretaries. Take note. We have office assistant, and then in plural form that becomes what? Office assistants. Office assistants. Then I have presidential aide. This one becomes what? Presidential aide. That's in plural word, in plural form. So these are the plural formation. These are the plural formation of what? The existing singular compound word nouns. Major general, major generals. Lieutenant colonel, lieutenant colonels. Taxpayer, taxpayers. Civil servants, civil servants. Co-worker, co-workers. Shop owners, shop owner, shop owners. Executive chairman, executive chairman. Permanent secretary, permanent secretaries. Office assistant, office assistants. Presidential aide and presidential word aides. That's the second step in the formation of what? Of compound nouns. So now look at it. Let's use them in what? In the sentence. If I say, the Nigerian military has just promoted to dash. The Nigerian military has just promoted to major generals. Same thing for what? Lieutenant what? Colonels. Yes. Lieutenant Colonel. These are the word tax payers. These are the word civil servants. These are my word co-workers. These are the word shop owners. The meeting was organized by what? The executive chairman of different what? Local governments. Yes. The federal government has appointed some permanent what? Secretaries. Exactly. So these are plural compound noun word formations. Yes, from the existing word singular form as the second step. Now, the third step now, let's look at the third step. The third step in the formation of what? Compound nouns. In this third step, what you do is that we add, that's the third rule now, the third rule, add the grammatical, you add the grammatical markers. What are grammatical markers? Your S, ES, IES. These are the grammatical markers. You add it to both components or sides of the following words. You add it to both components or sides of the following words. What are the words now? We have a singular, the singular one, and the word, the plural form. The singular and the plural form. What are those words now? We have gentleman farmer. Gentleman farmer. That's the first one. We have a gentleman farmer. We have a coup d'etat. Coup d'etat. We have your woman doctor. We have child soldier. We have a Lord Justice. We have a man servant. We have a woman occupant. Woman occupant. We have a woman pilot. Woman pilot. Yes, these are examples under what? Under the third word, plural formation. Now, gentleman farmer, coup d'etat, woman doctor, child soldier, Lord Justice, man servant, woman occupant, woman pilot. Let's add a child laborer, yes. These are singular word, compound nouns. Now, the rule is that what? We should add the grammatical markers S, ES, IS, the word, to both components, meaning the two sides we take what? The grammatical markers in the plural word formation. So let's write. This one becomes what? This is gentleman. In plural form, that becomes what? Gentleman. Gentleman. Then farmer to take what? Grammatical marker, which is what? S. That becomes what? That becomes gentleman farmers. So in singular form, gentleman farmer. In plural form becomes what? Gentleman farmers. Look at this. Coup d'etat in singular form becomes what? Coup d'etat in plural form. Woman doctor in plural form, that becomes what? Women. That becomes women doctors. That becomes women doctors. Child soldier in plural form becomes what? Children soldiers. Children soldiers. Lord Justice in plural form becomes what? Lords Justices. Yes. Man servant in plural form becomes what? Men servants. Women doctor, women occupant in plural form becomes what? Women occupants. Yes. Then we have women pilot, also becomes what? Women pilots. And then lastly, we have child laborer, and then in plural form that becomes what? Children laborers. Yes. This is the third formation of what? Compound noun. The third step or the third rule in the formation of compounded nouns. As I've explained to you, compound nouns are simply what? Nouns that you form by joining what? Two or more components. And then to form the plural, there are steps that must be taken. The first one, we add grammatical markers to the first component. Second one, we add grammatical markers to the second component. The third one, that we add grammatical markers to both components. Now, the last rule in the formation, or the last step, which is the fourth one, I hope this is clear to you all now. So, the fourth one and the fourth step. Let's look at this. The first step, a singular, okay, let's start from this way. Add the grammatical marker, add the grammatical marker S, add the grammatical marker S to a singular compound noun that ends with FUL, full. Once a singular compound noun ends with full, to form the plural, add what? The grammatical marker S. Example, this one give us a, so let's have our table again. Singular, plural. Now in the singular form we have what? Handful. We have handful, we have mouthful, we have spoonful, we have a bucketful, yes, we have drumful, handful, mouthful, spoonful, bucketful, drumful. To form the plural, what do you add? Add just what? S. So this one becomes what? Handfuls. Mouthfuls, spoonfuls, bucketfuls, and then what? Drumfuls. Now note, to round off, note, there are words that end with full. There are words that end with full, but they are not nouns. Example, wonderful, skillful, tearful, fruitful. These are words that end with full. You cannot put them into plural form. You cannot say wonderful singular, plural, wonderfuls. No. You cannot say skillful singular, then skillful is plural. Why? These ones can't be put into plural form. Why? They are not nouns, but rather they are what? Adjectives. These ones are what? Are adjectives. Why these ones are what? Are nouns. It is only the noun form that ends with full that can be put to what? In plural time. But adjectives that end with full cannot be put to what? Into plural form. I hope this is clear to you all. So let me pause the class for today, and we'll see some other time. This class was brought to you by Isaac Humanitarian Foundation to help you provide solution to your academic challenges. We'll see some other time. Good day, class.